Althea Greaney. Welcome to the Simsbury View. Today we are going to take a look at the local art scene. Rita Bond, Elliott, and Deborah Leonard have graciously agreed to be our guides as we look at art in Simsbury. Rita, Catherine, and Deborah create beautiful paintings. They each have distinctive styles and talents. They are part of the much larger group of artists who make up the local art scene, including sculptors, potters, abstract artists, photographers, writers, and performing artists. I once spoke to someone who defined an artist as a person who practices his craft until he excels at it, and these women do. So I'd like to welcome you. Thank you for joining us, Rita, Catherine, and Deborah. I'm so excited to have you here. I wanted to start with just basically getting people familiar with who you are and your art. And so if you could just briefly describe your art and what you do as an artist.
Well, as an artist, I do paintings, mostly oil and acrylic, and a few pastel. And a lot of it is influenced by New England in Simsbury, which we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
And but I also do abstracts as well. So again, but a lot inspired by color, and oftentimes the Impressionists.
Okay, great.
Pretty much
Thank you. Thank you. So Catherine, you also do landscapes.
Yes.
And so a little bit about what inspires you and your paintings.
Well, lately I just like painting outside, and the weather's been so wonderful lately. I've just been outside painting, plein air painting in the outdoors. And I also like Impressionism and paint in that way, not realism or too tight, but and I paint in oils.
In oils?
Yes.
Strictly in oils?
Acrylic sometimes.
Okay.
Mostly oils.
Mostly oils. Okay, great. Thank you. Deborah?
Well, I paint in acrylic mostly, and I love nature. I love to be outside.
Yep.
Mostly landscape, but I do like abstract as well.
Oh, okay. I'll have to come and visit you because I haven't seen too many of your abstracts.
I love abstract.
Oh, okay. Very nice. So, the big question here is the local art scene. So what effect has Simsbury had on you and your art? Rita?
Well, I think really you can't not just love the community and in terms of the natural landscape itself. It's just so beautiful and inspiring, and the seasons are a big influence for me.
Okay.
Because the color changes, the sky changes, the light changes. So I look eagerly forward to every season, and I love that we're so close also to the seashore. So it's a very varied landscape within a very small area.
Okay.
So that really does influence me a lot.
Okay, yeah. And you also have an interest in landscaping also.
I do. I started out as a landscape designer, and I started out painting actually because I wanted to study color. And and my paintings are known to be very colorful, and because I do love color. And so the landscaping it influences me in terms of design. It's another visual, very visual kind of a craft, or whatever would you want to call it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Catherine, I didn't realize that you grew up in Simsbury.
I did. I've been here all my life.
All of it?
I've been away a little bit, but mostly 90% here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So how has Simsbury affected you and your art?
Oh, it's just been a good base. I've gone down a lot of traveling with my art lately, but I just love coming back and painting here in my hometown.
Okay.
I really don't run out of any inspiration here, and just love it.
So that's what it is. It's primarily the inspiration. It's being the diversity of the environment.
Yeah, it is. I don't have to go very far, like all of us, to paint. It's beautiful spots. We just have a little bit of everything here.
Great.
So,
You did some paintings too of like the townscapes, not just landscapes. I mean, you've done pictures.
Yeah, I do.
I've seen them
and
I think Town Hall has one.
Yeah.
Of the street scenes and stuff like that too.
Right. I enjoy doing that. I like to capture time when where things are. 10 years from now, a tree might be down, or something
or a
might
building
be gone.
may be gone, or
that's what the early Impressionism did. That they kind of capture the time we live in.
Great.
So we try to do that. Debbie and I were just painting last weekend at Rosedale Farm,
Yeah.
painting a barn there. So we did
Yeah, I
have
saw
some of
that on Facebook. Oh my
Yeah.
God, so beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous paintings. And it was a beautiful day also.
It was.
Right.
It's just nice to see people out, and when we paint outside, you get people and family in the community involved in when you're painting.
Right.
So people do stop by while you're
they
painting
do.
out? and
Yeah. So we
talk to you and stuff?
Yeah, I think we really enjoy that part of it.
Yeah, because
interacting with
on the
people.
weekends, Rosedale's open for like
The
tours
wine-
and things
wine
and wine
tasting.
tasting
Yeah.
and things. So
Yeah.
there must have been quite a few people.
They were,
was.
yeah. Yeah.
So was there a lot of artists too, or was it just you and Debbie?
Debbie and I and some other artists joined
Yeah,
later. I
some
didn't see
came
her.
later on. It was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So is this like an art community? It's like you all like post out on Facebook. We're going here for this open.
Well, actually,
studio
I
type?
posted on Facebook that I was there, and then someone came later because they saw the post and they thought it was a nice day and that they would come down and paint too. So it's fun.
Okay. Yeah. Usually for me, it's last minute. I'll just say, "Oh, it's nice that I'm going to go here." I don't really think
Yeah.
about it much.
Yeah.
I don't plan
okay.
ahead because usually the weather is so,
Right.
Right.
you know, and the lighting as impressionists. Okay, we want the
Exactly.
lighting just nice and the way we want it. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was my next question was like, how do you get so that you know where the lighting's good? It's just kind of you've been here long enough in the community, you can kind of feel when things are going to be right for painting?
Sometimes we see it one day, I'm going to come back that next day at
Right,
this
and
time.
it's totally different
Right,
sometimes.
yeah.
Right.
But in general, it's usually mornings and evenings, you know, around dusk.
Right.
I-
Right.
Yeah,
You
those
work
are
quickly.
the best
Work
times. You have to
quickly,
work
yeah.
very quickly.
Yeah.
It's pretty stressful. I find it very stressful.
I know, some people don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of artists in the community don't do it, but
Yeah.
no,
Because
I enjoy
it does require a lot, doing a lot in a
Well,
short
setting
amount of
up
time.
Well, you
Exactly.
set up and then the wind comes and knocks everything down.
Oh, yeah.
Or then a shower
bugs
comes
and the
through.
heat.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you set up and then all of a sudden cars go by and
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Bugs
yeah.
seem to like oil paint a lot.
Oh yeah.
they
Well,
like
imagine
acrylic too, Rita.
They like acrylic too?
they're equal opportunity bug.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
know.
That's absolutely.
Well, they're impressionists.
Right.
They want to leave their mark on your paintings. So the environment affects your art. How does the community? Do you find that having people watching you helps or hinders your creative process when you're trying to paint out in public?
No, it depends who's watching.
Right.
Okay.
It does.
So a person who's just kind of just wandering by and just kind of stands back and just takes in the view, that's probably okay.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
Fine. It's,
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed children, and they kept such interesting questions.
Yeah.
And one little girl kept coming back, and oh, you did that? Oh, why don't you put the vines in the barns and tell them that, you know, helping me out. And sometimes I let them paint a little bit, and they love that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know that all of you have done not so much classes, but you've all kind of introduced art to other people. And I find that really fascinating in that you're so willing to share your love of art and your techniques and what you've learned about art. Is that part of being an artist?
I don't know if it's part of being an artist, but I think it's being somehow attached to one's community and wanting people to, there's so much to art and art making. If people have a deeper appreciation for it, I think they understand what we're doing. It's really a way of communicating and sharing,
Okay.
and imparting knowledge. And I think that's a big part of being a part of the community, really.
Okay. Yeah.
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 I agree. Too.
I think it's the place where we are now, and I think that's where art brings you, that you want to share things.
Yeah.
And as far as it being in Simsbury in particular, I'm on the board of the Farmington River Watershed,
Yep.
and I did a painting for their poster for the 60th anniversary, and the area is just so beautiful that it's something that you don't want to keep to yourself. You want everybody to know about it, and that's what we all do with our paintings. You know, we'd love it if people buy it, but we also, it's just the fun of being out there painting and sharing too. So that's
Yeah.
what we all do.
Yeah.
I know. My neighbor has has one of your paintings in her house, and I love going into her house because it's like you walk in and you're immediately transported to that spot, and it's I believe it's on the Farmington River with her painting that she has, and it's just beautiful. It's calming, it's relaxing. You can almost feel cooler, like you can feel almost the mud emanating. Well, I mean, because it's important. I mean, mud. People don't think of the mud as being attractive, but it is. It's
riverbank.
Okay, well, riverbank. Okay, it's but it's muddy. But I like that. I mean, I walk barefoot in my garden because I like that's moist soil, and it gives that special musty odor.
Yeah.
And when you look at that particular painting, you get that. You can almost smell it. You can almost feel that coolness.
I think that's what we try to capture as painters.
Capture the moment.
I'm looking at Debbie's painting here. River. Maybe we could talk about that. I mean, there's some mud right there. Riverbank.
And that's it. I mean, you see the water. You can almost hear it because it's moving. You can tell it's moving.
You can tell the time of the day. It's not early morning. It's summertime.
And sometimes I think it's interesting. Sometimes people will say, "Oh, I remember that particular spot as a child." It brings back a lot of associations for them, emotional associations, and it's really nice when it does that.
And that's what's different about photography too. Photography, I mean, I can't say anybody can do it, but it's very easy. But we've kind of put our heart and soul into the piece of art that we're painting too.
I think that does come across. I really do.
That's what makes it a little different.
It does. It makes actually it makes a big difference because as artists you also can remove distractions.
Oh, absolutely. It's selective.
Right.
We're not
I think that's what makes people want to own paintings and have them in their home. I've got paintings from my parents collected that I treasure. And the same, they have that feeling. There's something about them. You kind of really love them as like an heirloom in your family.
So what do art and artists do to enrich the community?
Well, I don't know in general what people do, but I think for us, and I think for many Simsbury artists, I think we are there to communicate in some way and to express our feelings toward whatever we want to paint, our subjects.
It's our voice, kind of.
Yeah, but I think all of us have contributed. I mean, for example, Debbie and Kathy are very involved in the land trust, not the land trust, right? The watershed.
Watershed.
Yeah, watershed.
And the land trust.
Right, and the land trust. And we started Simsbury Open Studios. And in part it was to share our knowledge and of art so that people will have more appreciation. And I think art is a big part of a community's fabric, social fabric, or should be anyway.
Well, I think it is. I mean, I know that our school system has done an absolutely incredible job
fabulous
with the children here. I mean,
Yeah.
starting in kindergarten.
It's a great program.
And the
art goes to school.
Art goes to school, and then the Simsbury Art. Oh, I can't remember. It runs in the summertime. With that art program that was started.
Yes.
I can't remember the name
program.
of it.
Right.
But I mean, that's just incredible. It combines all the various art forms and puts it all together. And Simsbury has been like just incredibly influential to all of the children. I mean, the number of kids going off to art school from Simsbury has to be just way off the charts. You know, as far, just from my personal experience. So I think within Simsbury, the community's very supportive. I think. I mean, you're the artist. I think we're supportive, but how does that appear to you guys? What's your general feeling about that?
Well, Simsbury Open Studios this is going to be the 5th year.
Yeah.
And we have great crowds on the weekend when we open our studios to them.
Okay, that's great. So that's.
I mean, we're doing it 5 years in a row, so that should tell you something.
Right. So people are interested. They're
Yes.
coming out to see you
That's
and
right.
look at the studios.
Yeah,
And,
and I had a very interesting experience. I was just in an arts and crafts fair
Yeah.
locally, and I decided to pull out my easel and paint there. And you know, a lot of people are very shy around art, and I noticed. No, I think I had one person ask me about what I was doing, but when people came through Open Studios, I would say more than half, maybe 3/4 of the people asked really interesting, insightful questions. They wanted to know more about the technique and why we chose that topic. So I think it was a great experience for the community, and we learned something. You know, we gave back too.
Right.
I think it allows them, it gives them
Yeah.
the place to ask those
Yes,
questions.
yes.
They feel that it's
Right,
okay.
yeah,
Right,
that's
I
true.
think
right,
so.
and because we made it quite clear in all our publicity that we wanted questions, we wanted them to learn about art.
Okay.
So I think that was a huge difference.
Okay.
Right, I do too. Yeah.
So, from the artist perspective, Simsbury Open Studios was a success because people did come and they did ask questions.
Right, and we
Yeah.
sold things. Our
Yeah.
goals were met. What we set out to do, we accomplished.
Okay, great. So people were interested in purchasing and
And they saw our
learning.
studios.
Right.
They asked
Yeah.
us questions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the economy certainly has affected all artists.
Yes.
There's no two ways about it.
Well, the economy's affected people just getting food.
Right, right, in every aspect. And so it has affected art. There's a lot of galleries that have closed over
Yes.
the last 5 years, tremendous number. And that in part was why, you know, the gallery in town here closed. So
Yeah.
actually we were hoping the Open Studios can find a pop-up site to do something in this fall. So we're investigating that angle right now.
A pop-up site?
A pop-up, yes. We'd have a pop-up art gallery.
Just before the holidays.
Before the holidays, so people could come in and see art, perhaps purchase as gifts or for themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like all of the Simsbury artists would get together and...
Well, I think it's going to be Open Studios.
Okay.
We're doing it as a group. So right now we're in the process of trying to locate a good spot.
Oh, well, that would be great.
It
that
would.
that would be that would be part of the art scene.
Yes,
Yes,
a little
absolutely.
mini Open Studios.
Yeah, a mini Open
Looking at
Studios,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Fantastic.
And one site, you know.
Well,
just-
in one place, yeah.
Yeah,
so
for
people
a
don't
very
have to drive
discrete
around.
amount of time, right, for a month or so, and that's what we're hoping to accomplish in the short run.
So, okay, so we've covered Simsbury Open Studios. We had an art walk 2 years ago, and that was for the ABC House, right?
Yes.
That was as a
the
fundraiser.
It was a
Yeah.
fundraiser for them. How was that, and is it something that the local artists would be interested in participating in again?
Well, I guess we're going around the same direction every time. Well, unfortunately, I had to be away that day, so I just came at the tail end. But I have to say, I did hear it was tremendously successful in terms of people. I've never, you know, just getting out and looking at all the different kinds of art that was represented. And Linda Schofield just did an excellent job organizing
did.
that. Just
she
fabulous.
did,
Was her idea, and
right.
she put it together.
Fantastic.
She did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Debbie and I painted that day, plein air,
Yeah.
and we got a lot of people recognize us from SOS, the Open
Right.
Studios too. It was nice to hear back.
I was outside Bill Selig, and there were great crowds of people, and you were up by the Eno.
Eno Hall, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great.
Yes, we hope to do more things like that.
Yeah.
You know, just be
it's-
more visible as a group out there as artists. So, because people don't know, you know, we're here. So that's
Okay, so basically we need to let people know what's going on. It's more of a informational. It's all about information, isn't it?
Right.
It's all about
That's right.
getting communication.
because if you think about it, musicians, you can hear them play places,
Right.
but for us, we're more
We're quiet.
more
We
reclusive.
paint softly.
more reclusive.
And carry big easels.
Yeah.
Okay, so each of you also holds private showings and gallery viewings throughout the Farmington Valley, and probably I think I've seen that you've had some down on the coast also.
Yeah.
I did. I
You
did too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so what makes a gallery or a private viewing successful? Is it the number of people coming through, the number of paintings that are sold, the communications? Is there
I think all of that.
All of it?
I mean, I have an open studio. I wouldn't say it's my own gallery I have in my house a couple times a year.
Yeah.
And I have people come by appointment. I think you do too, Debbie.
Yeah.
Rita, you probably do too. But that's people have already heard about us or know about us from somewhere.
Right.
So I know I'm friends with Debbie and Catherine on Facebook, and you put a lot of beautiful paintings
social
out there.
networking has really helped a lot.
That is helpful. Yeah.
Do you have a Facebook?
I do.
Well,
not a Facebook separate page. I just have, I haven't started a separate page. But I do have a website, and I think, I don't know if you do, but, so we all have websites,
Okay.
which also,
But
make a
all of
big
us, you could
difference.
contact us for private appointments.
Oh,
and
sure.
come
Okay.
Yeah.
to our
we
studios at
welcome
any
that.
time.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah, and we do a lot of gallery shows besides, for example, I have, I just finished one up at Doncaster, and I actually have an opening reception, which people are invited to this Friday night at Town and County, which is the club, which is on Woodland Street in Hartford.
Oh, okay.
So, so my body of work is there now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it's just, I mean, when we did the SOS and I had helped Debbie, I videotaped Debbie taking down.
Oh, yes.
It was like so much work.
There was a lot of work.
The life of an artist.
Imagine putting them back up. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work for you guys.
It is.
As, and then you also have all that creative, needing to go out and create,
Right.
as well as do the shows.
Right.
Yep.
And I read an article about the new yoga here in Journey of Yoga, I think it's called, and she was talking about maybe displaying art in her yoga studio, which I had an exercise person who walked into a gallery say, "Oh, we should have yoga in here because it's so calming and relaxing," and that's just. I mean, people kind of have to start thinking outside of the regular box, don't they?
Yeah, to find art.
Yeah.
Do that.
Well, it's tough too because there aren't that many venues within town. Like some places, in some towns, if you go into coffee shops or you go into that kind of thing, or restaurants, you'll see a lot of art on the walls. And that's the one thing I see is that there really aren't that many places in Simsbury that are venues for us to have the art.
We have
showing.
Starbucks.
And
That's about it.
no, what's the name of the restaurant?
Harvest Cafe.
Harvest Cafe.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Okay.
And that's really, I think, in terms of, in contrast to other communities, I think we don't have as many venues.
Not many venues now.
No.
No.
Yeah,
so
so we're working on that as a group.
Yeah.
Okay. So
If anybody has any
I had
ideas
a show
in
with
the
Bill
audience.
Seelig too.
Yeah.
He's starting it.
right.
So
Yeah. And I know Catherine, you've got one coming up.
I've got on the house I grew up in October 16th on a Wednesday.
Oh, 16th. Okay.
Yeah, cocktail party. So I'll have paintings there in my house I grew up in, East Weetog Street, next to Rosedale. So.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a show at Ethel Walker now for September and October, but that's not Simsbury.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and I'll be in Starbucks in November.
Yeah, Ethel Walker.
Oh.
Ethel Walker is.
Oh, it is Simsbury, yes.
It is Simsbury.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
they've
thinking Ava.
actually been very supportive of our
Yes, they are.
group.
They're great.
They've been
really
great in showing a lot of our work,
Yeah.
individual and as a group.
are. And one of our SOS members is running
The art program.
the art program there.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Right, also working for the community.
Yeah. So actually I had a question because someone I know thinks that downtown Simsbury could use a cooperative art gallery, old book and record store, and coffee shop as a destination draw for local and out-of-town visitors.
That sounds
And
great.
obviously,
That would be great.
I see lights lighting up here. So do you think that the local artists would interact with such an
Yes.
establishment?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what we're looking
absolutely.
for.
Yes.
Can you coordinate that for us?
Well, I'll have to think about that. Are there challenges or benefits to having
Both.
something?
Both challenges and benefits, but I mean,
Yeah.
that would be great.
I think the benefits far outweigh the
Absolutely.
challenges.
Rita.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it would be a matter of finding somebody who could establish the location, set up the location, and then
Have low rent.
Yeah.
well, that's
That's always the
yeah.
business end.
All right. So
We'll work out the details.
I know. Okay, get on it, people.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts about the art scene here in Simsbury? Anything you would like to share with the viewers?
Oh, just want to express you're welcome to contact any one of us or all of us and come visit us.
Yeah, and I think it's, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
To be just more a part of the community, so don't be afraid to contact us. Come visit us.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. So, and I just wanted to point out to people too that artists are involved in so many different parts of our community. And after talking with Rita and Catherine and Deborah before the show, I realized that they don't really realize how much they impact our community. I mean, Rita's on the design review board. She has her landscaping background, she has her art background, and she's helping preserve the feel of the community, the look, and contributing to maybe some new thoughts about expanding that look. And that's important. And art and artists are involved in all of our daily lives in ways that make what we see and what we view more beautiful. And I think I really want to thank you and all the other artists out there who do this, who contribute without even realizing how much they contribute. So thank you.
Oh, well,
Thank you.
thank you.
So at this point, I would like to thank Rita Bond, Catherine Elliott, and Deborah Leonard for joining us today to share their insights into the local art scene. I'd also like to thank our volunteers behind the cameras, Sally Suma and Anne Marie, who I don't know her last name, but thank you so much. Justin Lawler is doing the directing today, and the staff of Simsbury Community Television, Karen Hanville and Phyllis Fishberg, for their help in producing today's show. Thank you for watching and supporting your local community television. If you missed any part of this program, you can see it online at simsburytv.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Althea.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're welcome.
It was an interesting conversation.
Yeah, that was fun.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.